So you brought out this report and we've made a great graphic to sort of explain what exactly is in the report. We're going to call up the graphic now and have you tell us exactly what it means, what's in this report.
Sure. So as you mentioned, the big finding is that we've found that oversupply will fall a bit. And that's because demand has really grown more than we anticipated in the last year. So we expect, in the last year, we've seen demand growth of 11%. That's the highest since 2011, basically since the Fukushima nuclear disaster. Meanwhile, supply has also been growing. As you know, the U.S. is one of the main exporters of natural gas, along with Australia as well.
What does it mean for U.S. LNG? The president has expressed an interest in promoting exports. Does it look like that will happen, and in what kind of capacity?
Sure. So yes, the president has mentioned that LNG exports are a big priority in our energy policy. And indeed, U.S. exports are expected to grow. We have 5 liquefaction terminals under construction at the moment, 1 in operation, Sabine Pass. They've got 4 trains in operation. And there's also about 29 projects that are under review. So they're in some process from being proposed to FERC for regulatory review, or they have not yet taken investment decisions. So maybe they have all their regulations in place, but they haven't taken decision yet. And the big focus of the president has been to try and reduce the regulatory burden. Interestingly, we found that 20% of those projects in that process that have not taken final decision have all their regulations in place. The barrier for them is that they face more economic hurdles. They need to find investors willing to invest in the projects. And in order to do that, they need to find buyers willing to buy that gas.
Anastacia, let's go back to demand. It's going to grow, you say, by 8.8% this year, fastest growth since Fukushima. I mean, what's driving this? Would you say it's sustainable?
So there's a number of factors driving the demand growth that we've seen. Some of them are structural. So countries like Japan and like like China and Korea, have implemented policy reforms to try and reduce air pollution. For those countries, natural gas is a substitute fuel. So we see that demand staying in place. Countries like Japan, their demand is more temporary. There's been a delay in the nuclear restarts since Fukushima. And so when more gas was consumed than anticipated. Those delays will probably continue for a year or so, but once those nuclear plants come back online, that gas demand will likely fall.